Cheers.
Hello, welcome back to my channel. Becky here with special guest.
The husband.
And we are going to do the NewlyREAD tag that Sid the bookworm did with her husband, her newlywed husband. So congratulations on your marriage. So exciting.
We're oldly wed.
We're oldly wed. So we're doing the old wed book tag. Old red. We have been married 12 and a half years, and together 15. So we're oldies at this. I don't know how many of you guys know the NewlyWed game. That one's old. I don't know.
This is definitely more chocolate than coffee.
Made himself a mocha. So in the NewlyWed game, you would ask each other questions. Like, I think it was like a game show. And then you'd be able they would be like, what is your partner's favorite color? So then he would write in big words like purple. And then I would write green. And then at the bottom, he writes what his actual favorite color is. And I would write what my actual favorite color is. And then we'd flip it and see if we matched or not. So that's what we're going to do with these questions.
So I write at the top and you're at the bottom?
So I'm going to ask you a question about books.
Wait.
And on the big part here, you're going to write my answer, what you think my answer is.
Okay.
And then at the bottom, you write what your answer to that question is.
Okay, so I write what I think yours is here. I write what my answer is.
Yeah. And then I'll be writing what I think your answer is here, and then mine at the bottom. So my bottom has to match your top for us to get a point.
Yeah, okay.
So.
I was ripping up something over there.
We're doing it on blank paper because we don't have a couple of whiteboards to do it on. But I folded them into... So each paper will give us 8 answers, so we're being more environmentally friendly. And then we will recycle them after.
Being responsible.
Duff Man wearing the Simpsons shirt, of course.
I love it. It's Santa's little helper. How can you not like Santa's little helper?
Santa's little helper is adorable. And there's that tiny has like 15 puppies.
I just love the part where he's like, all the pets are like moving the bowls around. He's like, I don't know what's wrong with the pets. Yeah. Like banging the food around and everything.
Jasper. Okay, and then I'm going to keep score on the bottom of our question sheet. Alright, no looking. No cheating. What is your partner's favorite genre? He doesn't read nearly as much as I do, but he reads enough that we can answer these questions. Being attacked by like Christmas decor. Okay, what's my favorite genre? What is a genre? I know this is a genre. I don't know if the other answer for me is a genre. I'll put this. That's kind of what it is. Okay. Let me know when you're ready.
Ready. Are we revealing them like right away?
We reveal them to each other. Yeah. 1, 2, 3. You gotta write bigger so we can see it. So you said my favorite genre was mystery romance, and I said thriller mystery.
Ooh.
So you get a point for mystery.
Hey.
And I said science fiction fantasy.
And I put sci-fi fantasy adventure. So we got it.
Yeah.
That actually made me nervous because I was like, I think she likes mystery most, and I'm like, next to mystery would be like something like romance, maybe. But I was like, she doesn't read a lot of romance.
I don't read a lot of romance. I've gone into it more this year though. So.
But I put mystery first, so that was my first guess for you.
And we'll each get a point for that one.
Yeah,
it was an easy one. Well, I'm just gonna flip mine over.
Close, one of those close enough.
So, what is your partner's least favorite genre?
I can pick you what my least favorite subgenre is.
What? Your least favorite subgenre? Our baby's like naked, rubbing his naked belly on the floor.
And laughing.
Your least favorite subgenre? I don't know.
No, I'm just joking.
I don't know what your least favorite genre is. What is mine?
What's your least favorite genre?
What is your least favorite genre? We're both sitting on the same chair. That's why we're so like awkwardly together. I'm trying to think of my least favorite genre. Sometimes it's easier to answer for the other person. You're like, this other person doesn't like this. But then you're trying to think of like your own questions. And you're like, I have no idea what I don't like or what I like. Do I even read? I wouldn't say that's my least favorite. Maybe, I don't know. I'm going to answer this. Although I wouldn't even say that's true, necessarily.
I think sometimes I need like a recap of every type
Yeah,
of,
what are all the genres?
every type of genre, and then I could be like, that's definitely the one I would never read.
Okay, you ready?
No, I'm not ready. Yeah, I guess I'm ready. Yeah, I can't think of like another one, so okay. I don't know if this is going to count or not. Okay, ready?
Maybe we both are on. Ready? Go.
I put Harlequin in horror for you, and I put sports.
Horror, sports, nice.
I was gonna put horror, but when it comes to reading, I actually don't mind horror stuff. I think horror stuff and reading is way more interesting.
Yes.
Horror stuff and movies, I don't
horror, like. When I already knew these questions, and horror would, horror is different. Like, I found it's more grotesque to read horror than like actually scary.
But like, I really want to read those. Like, I'm really interested in that psychological horror book. Like, psychological horrors are really cool. And that's a horror book. Psychological horrors are stuff like...
No, what you... Oh, you said there was a specific...
Yeah, well, I really want to read that one that we got, but we haven't started reading it. The one about Cthulhu. Like,
oh.
The H.P. Lovecraft ones.
Yeah. So we both did not get a point for that one. Harlequin, yeah, like...
Lovecraftian horror.
I know what you mean by that, but like smutty books. I don't read smutty books.
Yeah, that's what I meant by Harlequin.
Yeah, I know. But there's Christian Harlequin.
What did
it's like... I put fantasy for me and then romance. Although fantasy's not 100% true either, I just couldn't think. But smutty, you were right. I know what you meant by Harlequin.
Yeah, because I was just thinking something that's just like more sexual. Like,
yeah.
A book that's got lots of like...
I like romance, I don't like a lot of the... I prefer like the fade to black.
Book, that thing is heavy. Oh.
It's all your books I was going to bring upstairs, but then your bookshelf got too full.
Hi.
Okay. Ready? This one?
Oh, bless you, my man.
If your partner is reading a book, what else do they need to have with them?
Ooh.
What do you need? Okay, you ready? What do you need with you when you're reading? Ready?
Oh.
Go. Show them. Hot drink, tea, coffee, ditto.
Yep, and I drew a little crappy little Pokemon ditto there. It looks terrible. It looks more like a ghost.
I put a bath or a drink or snack for him.
Yeah.
And then I put drink, snack, and blanket for me. So I think we both get drink. So we both get a point for that one?
Yeah.
I think that's fair. All right.
I was thinking that too. I was like, does bath count as a thing? I was like, we usually have like a hot drink, both of us.
It can be a cold coffee, just a drink for me. This past couple weeks, it might be alcoholic drink, but not really. But okay, question number 4: what is a trope that your partner loves? This I don't know.
I don't know.
Okay, so I'm doing the reindeer readathon, and I'm trying to cram the books in that I want to read this month into the prompts. And I was like, I posted, I was like, I don't know what a trope is that I love. And I was reading the Dawn Trotter, The Voyage of the Dawn Trotter. And someone's like, a trope could be cool ship. And I'm like, who doesn't love a cool ship?
Oh.
A trope could be like animal companion, so like Reepicheep in that. Tropes are like enemies to lovers, friends to lovers, rivals to lovers. The chosen one is a huge trope, especially like in fantasy.
I know the trope I like. I don't know what it's called though. It's a very common trope, just like the one you said. Like it's almost like the chosen one. It's the same idea, but a little different. Leo did the typical like asshole cat thing where you like.
Oh, he swatted Luigi.
Swatting him from above, yeah. And Luigi didn't know where it was coming from.
That's right.
I love that comic I sent you where it's like sleeping with cats. They're like 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning. It's like a pentagram, and they're like summoning demons, and they're like doing all this stuff, and like the next hour later, it's like everything's back to normal.
Well, and I told you to have like the hot, like they come from a fur ball, and it's like steaming. It's so gross. I don't even know what tropes are. Oh, I know one. I'm gonna put this. And you might be like, yeah, that's a good one. It's probably not the right answer.
You're probably not even gonna pick mine anyways. But you might be the same. You might be like, oh, that's a good one. Maybe we won't get points for this one.
Maybe not.
Might be too broad.
Maybe. You ready?
3, 2,
We're
1.
supposed to each other.
Oh. Yeah, reluctant hero. That's what I was thinking. Underdog to hero. Kind of like they're not supposed to be the hero, but they become the hero.
Companion dogs. Loyal. I put found family.
Oh, found family's so good.
Yeah.
Found family is a good one.
So reluctant hero is the one that's like...
Found family anime does a lot. Anime is all about that stuff.
What did you say for
Underdog?
you? Underdog. Underdog is more like... Not reluctant, though, because the underdog wants to win.
Yeah.
The reluctant one is like, they weren't...
Well, they weren't supposed to.
What is the guy from L? From Dark Note?
Death Note?
Death Note.
Light Yagami is the main character.
Yeah, but the one that gets the Death Note.
Light.
Did he want the Death Note? No, yeah, he was kind of in that mood. That's why the demon...
Well, yeah. Well, he had a big grand vision of what justice should be.
Yeah. So that one doesn't count.
In this world, I can't make it happen, and then that's when the shit.
So that one doesn't count as reluctant hero.
No, because he wanted to be.
It's just kind of like put upon you, and you have to do it.
Yeah.
Even though you didn't want to. I don't know.
Underdog to hero is something like Naruto, where he's like has all the odds against him. He's like the worst he's the worst ninja in his class, and all this stuff. And by the end of the entire series, if you can get through it all, because there's a lot, he ends up being basically like the best ninja ever, the strongest, most powerful. Not even just the strongest, but he becomes like intelligent and stuff. Like he goes through a lot of changes, right?
Yeah.
But when he starts out, he's like the reject, right? Like no one likes him. See, but he's not reluctant. He wants to be the hero, right? He wants everyone to like him.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
Right? He wants to be that.
So no points for that one. But there's also that like Dexter. It's like the anti-hero. Not even anti-hero.
That's anti-hero for sure.
That one can be good too.
Anti-hero's good. I like it. Anti-hero's interesting just because a lot of the time it's
like Dexter. It's like Dexter's a bad guy, but he's taking out bad guys, and you're like, you hate to love it. You're like, I don't know if I should say that I like this. Okay, so what is a trope that your partner hates?
Ooh. There are tropes that I really don't like. These are ones I gotta think about on the spot.
That's kind of the point, though. It's like what comes to your mind first.
I don't know what trope you don't like.
A theme, like a theme that pops up in books a lot or something. Think of it that way, I guess. Like, no, well, maybe theme's not the right word.
I'm gonna pick one that I think you definitely don't care about. I don't think, anyway.
What's a trope that you hate? I'm trying to think of like anime and movies and stuff like that. Something Seb doesn't like.
There's tropes that happen where I'm like, I hate this trope so much, but I can't think of it right now.
Yeah, right.
It's not until it happens where I'm like, this is so annoying. They always, I know a trope I really don't like. Okay.
I'm just gonna say the same thing for both of us. Okay, you ready?
Oh, I know another one that I don't like. Let's see it.
I'm trying to think of something like when we've watched a movie and we both go like, oh, I hate when they do that.
Yeah.
We don't really read the same book, so I can't think of like a specific book, but... Can you pass Daddy that lid?
He's got it. Pass
Jesper, bring it to Daddy.
Can you give it to me? Oh, he's trying to pass it to me. I gotta get it.
Oh.
He's trying to pass it.
Oh, I can't.
Oh, he pulls it away as I reach for it. Can I have it back?
Pass it to Daddy. Jesper, give it to Daddy.
No.
Watch out.
I gave him some cool glasses. That was a fair trade.
Okay, I'm being attacked by my decor.
Look out. Oh.
Ready?
Yep.
You can't see mine. Miscommunication.
Oh. Yeah, that's a crappy one.
What'd you put?
I put Rivals to Lovers as yours. I wasn't
Oh.
sure. It was all a dream or full reversals.
Oh,
The ones where you're
yes.
like, they go through this whole thing, and then you're like, oh, so the entire thing was inconsequential.
Yeah.
Like there was
Yeah.
nothing came of it. It was all just a dream.
Yeah.
Or the full reversal, where it's like, there's like a big sacrifice that happens, but no, it's not like a big deal. So, spoilers if you haven't seen.
Gravity Falls. You said you didn't like it in there.
Yeah.
There was a thing like that. in
Gravity Falls is so good, but then they kind of did a full reversal at the end, and I was like, I don't like that. It takes away from the gravity of the sacrifice, right? Okay. You're sad because that person sacrificed their lives for this thing, and then they're like, oh, they come back anyways. And you're like, well, what was the point? What was the big sacrifice? Yeah. What was lost to save everyone? Nothing.
Yeah.
Ultimately, nothing was lost. Like, I don't like that. That just cheapens the ending. So, the last Star Wars in the Disney trilogy, The Rise of Skywalker, that movie is full of that. Just full of those.
Yeah.
They do this thing.
I didn't care enough to go see it. You came home and just like bitched about it.
They do this. There's 3 times they do it in that movie alone.
2 very boring minutes later.
Again, it cheapens the sacrifice.
I like rivals or enemies to lovers. What's good about like rivals or enemies to lovers is, and there's some debate about like what's technically an enemy. It's more rivals to lovers. They're not usually like actual enemies. There's more banter there because they're not like friends to lovers. There can be banter, but like they like each other.
Too. I like that one though. That one's a fun one.
But they like each other. They're already friends. There's already a relationship established. The rivals to lovers, like a lot of them, it's like usually like in a workplace and they're both trying to get like the same job kind of idea. There's more banter there.
Yeah.
Right? So that's what's fun to read about it is the banter. Anyways.
I like rivals to lovers when it's done right.
Yeah.
I find that there are times where they rush it.
Yeah.
And then you're like, why are they lovers now? Like, why do they like each other? Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen like animes or even movies and shows and stuff where they do the rivals to lovers. But it, again, has to be done right. Like, there are times where they do it wrong and then it gets rushed through. And then you're watching it and you're like, what? Why do they like each other?
Didn't they just hate each other
why?
like one scene ago? Yeah.
Like, I don't know, caught her off a cliff or something, let's say. And it's like, that's the only thing that they were like ready to kill each other, like literally had a knife to each other's necks like a minute ago.
And
now they're like making out, and it's like,
it's the tension of almost dying.
Yeah.
Okay, ready for the next question?
Yeah.
What is a book that greatly influenced your partner's life? Oh, I know. For you. Is it...
Oh, I think I know what you're gonna put. I think I'm gonna put the same book too, actually.
Is that what it's called? Is that how you spell that word? You're making a big mess out of all my crafting stuff. Oh, and you hurt his finger. I'm trying to think of one that isn't the Bible. The Bible is 100% legitimate. But I'm trying to think of something like outside of that. Oh, what's a book that's
he's trying to crawl to me. Come. Can you crawl to Daddy? I'll pick you up, buddy. Oh, my head.
He wants to write down his answers. What was a book that greatly influenced you? Say that milk book you read, Mommy, because you're still breastfeeding me after all this pain I've caused you. Seb, have I ever even read a book in my life? No, I think it's this word. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Since you're already showing them. Okay.
Where the Red Fern Grows in Bible.
Yeah.
I put the 7 Habits.
Okay, I put habits because I couldn't remember what it was.
And then I put Heir Apparent.
I put habits for effective people.
Yeah.
Just habits.
Okay, so you got habits for me.
I put Where the Red Fern Grows is what he's gonna think
Yeah.
because that's like my favorite book as a child. And then Michael Connolly, it's a coyote book, Summon Coyote, and that was the book I read that made me a reader.
So Heir Apparent was the one that made me want to read more books.
So I
didn't want to read books, and I didn't like reading books.
I'll give us each a point since we're failing.
Until I read Heir Apparent. So that's why I would say that one. Like that's why I
That's
put that in there. I was like, maybe that would count.
The Last Coyote.
And then the 7 Habits book was one that's definitely influenced me.
Full on chewing on that.
And that's why. But that's why I put Where the Red Fern Grows, because I was like, I think that's the book that really made you want to read more books, like Heir Apparent did for me.
Yes and no. It's the book I read in school, but it didn't make me a reader. I did read Heir Apparent. That was a good one. What is a book that you and your partner disagree on?
Disagree on?
We don't read enough that...
There's books that we've read that I was like, I liked this, but you didn't like it. Like the endings. Oh, I know one. There's 2 books that about what I just talked about. There's 2 books, but I don't. See, we don't disagree on it. We still like those 2 books. We both still liked. I can't think of like books that we've actually disagreed on. That we're like, no, I liked it. No, I didn't like it.
I'm trying to think of books that we've read together.
Yeah.
We've read Jurassic Park and The Lost World together. We've read the entire Scythe trilogy.
That was so good. I liked it.
We're in the middle of reading Dark Matter together, and we were heroes. We were, what's that one? The guy. What else have we read together?
Okay, ready?
All right, I'm ready. 1985.
And The Giver.
Oh, The Giver. I put Parks and Rec as the TV show we don't agree on.
Yeah.
And I put Scythe question mark because I didn't know what he was talking about. First of all, I've never read 1985 before in my life.
Yeah, 1984. I always get the stupid name wrong.
It's because he was born in 1985.
Yeah, but whatever. 1984 is the book I was thinking of. So for this and that one, and Scythe, it's the ending that we can't agree on all three books. I like the ending to The Giver, and I think The Giver talks of an ending where The Giver talks about an ending where he dies.
I think we don't agree on...
I think the book is alluding to the fact that he dies.
Yes.
But he's picturing what he's always wanted to picture that scene to be.
We both like the ending.
Yeah.
We don't disagree on the ending. It was more like, what does the ending mean? Because it's left up to your interpretation, kind of like, pretty sure he's dead. Which is very depressing. After all that he went through.
Especially, you read those last 2 pages and it's the saddest thing to read. He's like giving the last bit of warmth to the baby as the baby's dying, and he's dying.
I dropped my marker and I have no idea.
And it ends on that very first memory that he ever got from The Giver.
Yeah.
That he loved, like, that was like his favorite memory.
I legit don't know where my pencil pen marker went.
Oh, it slid under there somewhere. Oh, I would have to use this one. Anyways, 1984, I like the ending to that one too, because that's when he becomes like, he's completely brainwashed by the end of it. He's like completely screwed.
I think I need to reread 1984 because I was like, I don't understand what's happening.
He gets completely messed up. Like, they literally take every little ounce of hope away from him by the end of that book. Is the whole time you're like, oh, maybe they can still make it. Oh, maybe there's still, like, there's some hope out there somewhere. And then you just realize just how rigged that entire system is. To the
did
point
it go that way or did it go this way?
To the point where the people that are on top of the system for 1984 have it completely figured out. To the point where they understand that they need to have that rebellion built in, but they even control the rebellion, right? And that's how they make sure that they can never get toppled.
See, I think you just understood the book more than I did, and I need to reread it slower.
And that's what makes it so...
I think I was trying... It was like the last book of the year a couple years ago that I was trying to read, and I was just like trying to like speed through it to get it through before the end of the year, and I think that was my problem.
Like, straight up, wherever it went, it's gone.
It's gone for life.
It like went into the nether realm.
Okay, so the next question... So I don't think we get any points ever. We are failing at this. Let's do this with Marvel movies next time. Who reads faster? We actually already had this discussion, and he's gonna say
You're gonna say.
And I'm gonna say... Ready?
Yep.
Okay. You write so small, write bigger.
I know. I put you think me, and I think you.
Yeah, so that's a point each. Because I put Becky. And I put in brackets, Becky reads more books, Seb, faster words per minute. I feel like if we sat down and read the same page, started at the same time, he would end faster. I read more because I'm always reading and, well, you work full time. So there's a lot of hours of the day you can't even read. But I feel like sitting down reading the same page for page, he would finish before I would. But he says I read faster. And I argue I read more. Does your partner prefer paperback or hardback? Ooh. Jesper says, Mommy only lets me read board books. So they're all hard.
Oh, it's hardback.
They're hard everything. Okay, ready? Oh, I was going to say hardback for you. Okay. I put paperback for me.
Really? I thought you preferred hardback.
I prefer to read. Hardback looks nice, but reading-wise, paperback is better.
Hardback's usually like a bit bigger for you.
Okay, he's reaching for me. Reaching for his mama. Oh, shut up.
You put either for me. I don't mind either.
I was gonna put either
like
hardback.
Looks
prefer.
nicer. Yeah.
Hardback on your shelf looks. I think this is the consensus of like 80% of the bookish community. Hardback looks nice on the shelf. Paperback feels better in the hands.
Yeah.
And everyone loves a big, fat, floppy hardback. Some people prefer like hardback to read, and some people prefer just paperback. But I think like 80% of the community prefer the paperback in the hands, the hardback on the shelf. So I don't know. Do I get a point for saying either, or is that a cheat?
That's kind of a cheat because I could have put anything. You could have.
Yeah.
Whatever.
All right.
It's your video. You decide. We can rock paper scissors for it.
No, that's all right. We're both tied in points though. See, I think the person who came up with this, her and her fiance / now husband, came up with this book tag, and their video is adorable. Go watch it. They're the cutest couple ever. And I will post down below the other videos I've seen. And like this is, I should have said this in the beginning. I forgot. But partner, they made it so it can be done with anybody. Like, the first video I saw of this was actually Katie Coulson, and she did it with her friend Grace, because she's not in a relationship. And I've seen it with, I can't think of who else it was, but I've seen, I saw somebody do, like, the roomies. It's, like, 2 girls that are, like, roommates or whatever. That was the first video of theirs I've ever seen, and they did it together. So you can be, like, best friends, you could be sisters, brother, sister, your mom. Like, I could do this with my mom. Whatever. It doesn't have to be, like, husband, wife, anything like that. It can be anybody. Where was I going with that? Sid, who did this book tag, she and her husband both read a lot. Where Sebastian does read. In the past couple of years, you started to read more.
A lot more.
But, anyway, I can't remember what I was saying. Roll back the tape. Okay, ready for the next question?
Yep.
Who reads faster? Paperback, hardback. Does your partner reread books? Now you have 3 options you can say. Often, sometimes, or rarely, never. So rarely, never is like the same answer. So you have to write down, I reread often, sometimes, or rarely. Never. So I think Sebastian. We keep showing the camera.
Don't bite me. Hey.
Yeah, he's been biting me lately too. Hey. Ready? Show them. I put rarely sometimes, you put sometimes. Sometimes rarely. So I think we both get a point for that. I said you rarely do it, no, but not never.
But not never. I've reread a few books.
Yeah. So it says rarely / never, but yours is rarely, not
like,
never.
I reread The Giver.
I think I reread more often than you do, so I put sometimes for me. So I think we should get a point for that one. Just to give you guys, we're at just a passing grade here. We're at 50%. We're on question 10, and we each have 5 points. So.
What does that mean? I can't be married anymore?
Uh-oh. If we get more wrong than right, then we have to split up.
Oh, wow. That's pretty
Stakes
harsh.
are pretty high. I didn't tell you this when we started.
I was just going to say, you didn't tell me this. I wouldn't have done this if that was the case. Ah, he's trying to eat my nose.
And then he's laughing about it.
Like it must do it to you now.
Can I have a kiss? Does your partner DNF books? Did not finish. Or, you know.
Ow.
You probably know what DNF means. Or read to the end. Okay, for Sid, and I'm sorry I don't remember your husband's name. I want to see you guys redo this tag with a baby.
Husbando.
In like a year or 2, if you guys ever choose to have children or end up having children, you gotta redo the tag with a baby, because that's the real challenge.
That's the real challenge.
We have 4. We have 4 of them.
Okay.
And who's the easiest? Ready?
Well, you put like a big long thing.
Okay, so we both got it right. I said read to the end, even though I'm trying to convince him to DNF. Because he's like, this book sucks. This morning, he was telling me about how bad this book was. And I'm like, just DNF it. I used to be like that.
No.
Up until like 2019, I read to the end, no matter how painful it was. The Goldfinch, hated it.
But you read a gajillion books.
So, like, this year, like, I'll read a couple pages, and if I'm not vibing with it, I'm like, no, I don't have time. This shirt says, like, too many books, not enough time. A DNF doesn't mean you're never going to read it. It just means it's a DNF for now. Hold this for a second.
What is your partner's Goodreads goal for the year? A book. Okay, but you gotta think of what mine is.
Yeah, I know. I already wrote it down.
I don't even know what mine is. How do you know what mine is?
Because I know.
Alright.
Ready?
Yeah.
Okay, so I put 0 because Seb's not even on Goodreads, so he didn't even make a goal. So your 15 is a lie. And mine was 75.
I put 150. I always knew that you wanted to read more than 100 books a year. You're always like, I want to read more than 100 books a year.
My goal before, like, tracking on Goodreads was 52 books in a year. And I always got around 48. And then in 2020, after, like, discovering BookTube and getting way more into audiobooks, I got up to 120 is my highest I've ever read. And then I was like, that's too many. My brain can't handle that many books. And I just end up forcing myself to like finish books as fast as I possibly can, like listening to them at like 2 times speed and not really actually absorbing the story. So I put it down to 75 last year and I read 93. And this year I was just at 75 like last Monday, so a week ago. And I know I'm finishing more than that, so I'll be over 80 this year, but my goal is 75.
And I want to read at least 15 books in the year. I'm pretty sure I read... I don't remember. I don't know how many I read last year. Would your partner rather read 1 book per year and remember everything, or read 100 books and remember nothing? Damn. Hey! Stop it! Dude! Okay.
This is such a hard question. Like, in actuality, what would you want the answer to be? I just wrote down one answer for both of us.
So did I.
Okay. 1.
Yeah, to me, what's the point? You read 100 books and you don't remember anything?
The
whole point of reading a book is to remember what the book was about. Again, to me, that goes with almost anything that you do.
Like a movie.
Why would you want to do anything and not remember it? Because that's life is kind of about that to a degree, right? You're experiencing it and you're remembering it. So if I read a book and I don't remember anything about that book, it's like I never read that book.
Yeah.
You know what I
So
mean?
what's the point? So
I can't talk to you if I read Where the Red Fern Grows and I don't remember anything about it. And then you're like, oh, I read that book too. And I go, yeah, I read that book. And then you're like, what'd you think of this part? And I'm like, I don't remember that. Well, what'd you think of this part? Well, I don't remember. What's the point? We can't discuss it. We can't talk about it.
It's like having
I got
never
no
read the book
memory
at all.
of it.
Yeah.
So to me, like, you're reading 100 books and not remembering. It's like you're not reading anything. So what's the point?
Part of me is like 100 books, like for entertainment purposes, you're enjoying it while you're reading it.
Yeah.
But then at the end of the year, what's the point? At the end of it, right?
Yeah.
And then there's other ways to consume stories. Like I could be playing video games instead of reading, or watching movies, or reading books, or not reading books, watching movies or TV shows or something, like filling my time in other ways and still consuming a story. I'm not gonna be getting books out of it, but or maybe I'll just pick like a really long book to read throughout the entire year. It'd be like Odyssey or something like that.
Yeah.
Moby Dick or something. Just spend the whole year reading that one book. Okay, what's the next one? Let's go quick.
Does your partner like silence or sounds while reading?
You ready?
Yeah. I put the same answer for both.
Okay. I put silence for me. And for you, I put instrumental music.
You know what? That's a good answer. I do prefer silence, but instrumental music works. And I can read through some noise. Sometimes it's too much, though. There are times where someone's talking too loud. Like recently, I was at lunch break, and I was trying to read my book, and this one guy had kind of an annoying voice, for one. And for 2, he was talking so freaking loud. I was like, I can't concentrate on my book.
Yeah.
He's like, "Hi, man. I know what you're talking about." And I was like, "You're being so annoying. Just shut up." No one else is talking. It's a huge lunchroom. No one else is talking this loud. Like, quiet.
Yeah, I don't like, especially in places where you're going to be waiting a long time, like the doctor's office or the ER room or something like that. And then it's just like, it's so noisy. And you're like, I want to read, but I can't. I need to get like in-ear headbuds. Because I can, if it's instrumental, it won't distract me as much. Although I did ask Google to play classical music. And it was playing classical, like, adventurous whatever, like what you would hear in like Star Wars or like The Hobbit or something like that. And I was like, okay, this, even you came in, you're like, what are you listening to? It was way too like, I was like, okay, can we get like calming instrumental music? It was a little too epic. Sometimes I'll put on headphones and instrumental music to block out the children.
Multifaceted question. If your partner were to write a novel, what would it contain in terms of genre, first or third person narration, standalone or series?
Okay, genre?
I'm having a hard time thinking of all like the books and stuff that I've read recently or whatever. Like,
I just gotta think of the genre you would write in. I got my other 2 answers.
I'm taking kind of a guess at it. Like, I think this is what you would do.
Ready? Show it.
Do you want to go?
Not that you can see that.
You can't see it. I put for you mystery, first person, standalone.
Okay. For you, I put adventure, third person, standalone.
Wow, you nailed mine exactly. Like exactly. I put adventure, high tech, like
I wanted to put
adventure,
sci-fi,
high
but...
tech, sci-fi. But I like old school adventure with like ancient technology type stuff.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I was thinking. So it's like adventure but with high tech. Third person. I put first at first, and then I was like, no, I think third person's a little easier to write in terms of what you like envision.
So I spent 4 years trying to write a book, and yet you don't know what I would write.
I know the book that you wanted to write,
which was a nonfiction.
I guess nonfiction, first person, standalone. Yeah, your book about
raising kids.
Raising kids is like raising animals.
How raising kids is like training dogs.
Yeah.
It's a little tongue-in-cheek.
I was thinking more...
lot.
Okay, well, I was thinking more like if you're to write like a novel.
I was thinking like between sci-fi and fantasy because we were talking about like your favorite genre. But I'm like, it's different because like fantasy, you can literally just make up whatever you want. Science fiction, you have to know a little bit about the science that you're talking about. We're watching that, or we're listening to that Dark Matter book. So the guy needs to do enough research. Like Crouch has to have enough research to know like how dark matter works. And then the fiction part of it comes in with like him like traveling between multiverses kind of thing. But you still have to have the science part there. And it has to make sense. Where fantasy, you're building the world yourself, right? So I wasn't sure which one you would prefer to do. But I was like, he said adventure, so I'm making adventure.
That's why I said you get 3 points, because you got all three.
I guess I could get 3 and you can get 2.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
why I get points. I was thinking the book that you were going to write too. I was like, no, I think this question's referring more to like if she were writing a novel.
I'm not going to be able to hear you when I go to edit this.
Okay.
You're talking up to the roof.
When I was writing this out, I thought of the book that you were trying to write. For whatever reason, I was like, no, this question's referring more to like a novel if you're writing a novel. Not like a self-help book.
I don't think I'm smart enough to do like a thriller or a mystery. I'm just along for the ride.
I don't think I'm creative enough for that either.
Okay, and then the bonus question is, what fictional character do you see your partner as? So we'll go with anything. Book, movie, TV.
I know. I'm trying to think. Like, I know of the traits of characters that you fit well with, but I'm trying to think of specific characters in my mind.
Okay, I'm not going to write down who I think I am. I'm just going to write down an answer for you.
Are you thinking of a book?
No. Just any fictional character. Yours is from a show. It has to be something we both watched. I don't know who I like who I'd write for myself.
Oh, ow, sorry.
Okay, are you ready?
I can go along with this. Okay. Are we putting one for ourselves?
I didn't.
Okay.
Because I can't think of one that you would say for me. It's just a bonus question anyways.
I don't even know who I'd put for myself. Like who am I like? Alright, well, I'm not really good at thinking about this right now, so I'm gonna just tell you.
We're already an hour and 15 minutes into this, so.
Okay.
I have to edit out like everything.
Who I think you are and who you think I am?
Yeah.
Okay, ready? Set, go.
We both picked The Office.
I put Pam. What did you put?
Andy.
I was gonna
Nard
put,
Dog.
I was gonna put Andy for me as well, but I was like, I don't know.
I picked Andy mostly because Roger says that you are Andy. Ed Helms. Yeah.
Ready to do.
Yeah. What is Nard Dog?
Nard Dog.
I was like, it's something dog. I was like, it's not our dog. Nard Dog.
You're like Pam. Pam's pretty awesome.
That's pretty awesome. We both went. I was like, book, movie, TV, doesn't matter. We both picked the same show.
Well, I was trying to think of something.
Too bad I didn't put, what's his name?
I was going to be like, I'm a Chandler or something like that.
Yeah. I don't really think I'm one of the Friends characters, though. Like, I'm
nothing like any of
Monica's too intense with, like, her cleaning, first of all.
Final score.
So, did you get to stay married?
Of course. I hope so. This doesn't determine anything. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
I got 10. You got 9.
I'm over 50%. That's all I know.
Yeah. So there
you go.
15, 16, 17, 18 possible points. I got 10. So I got more than
19
half.
with the bonus.
You got
18.
just
No,
half.
you're right, 18.
Yeah, so we get to stay married. Yeah.
I'm
That was a
glad we
close
did
one.
that.
That was a close one. So thanks for watching.
Thank you.
Comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. I will
Click the bell up here or over here. Or wherever she puts the taggy thing. Or over in that corner.
I don't put it anywhere. It's
Or
just at the
right
bottom
in the
of
middle.
it's at the bottom of the video. Where you hit subscribe, there's a little bell there. It never moves. It's always there. I will share the videos down below of the people I've watched who are doing this. And if you have somebody in your life that you can do this with, do it.
Hopefully you were entertained.
Hopefully.
Very entertained.
And we'll see you next time.
Ciao.
Bye.
Do I blow a kiss? Thank you, fans.
You have to turn it off though, because I'm busy.